Not screaming, streaming. Hmm. Let me make some room here. I'm completely disorganized. Once again, that goes over there. Skip ad. All right. So we're back live with day 2. Fistful of gummy bears, which are Coca-Cola bears. Those are my favorite. And my paintbrush. So, where did we leave off yesterday? Very simple. We left off with these guys right here. And you can see how that red wash did a nice job. And it didn't take out the yellow too much. And it gave them that kind of dark, foreboding kind of we're magic fire things or whatever. So that kind of worked out pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with these guys. So we're going to take these guys off the board for now. We do have to do their eyes. So we can't forget to do that. Now, what we're really going to concentrate on is some of the bodies here. And you're not, and there's a lot of different videos out there to do this stuff, but I want to try to do this where it's simplest for you, where you're not putting on 15 layers of paint and really having to be a master to get in a certain area. And I really kind of want to make this, I'm going to simplify these guys. They're not going to look as professional as you would think, but we are going to get them where you're going to feel pretty good about putting them on the board. I finally spray painted the one guy that we ran into yesterday, so I will work on him as well. So as I move some things around here, because I just got home to sit down a bit. Now if you remember yesterday, with these guys here, we took a little gray fang and we kind of just went over the skin parts and went over the armor too, because it was kind of tough to get in there. So what we're going to do is, I like this to do some dry brushing with. This is a Vallejo and it's called Sky Gray. It's a very, very light gray. And there's a reason for this. So I'm going to take this out. Mimi, can you go underneath the thing and get whatever our pup dog is looking for? Because she's being fresh already. 5 minutes into the thing as always.
No, it's a ball.
It's a ball. She wants a ball. No ball in the house. Go outside. It's sunny today. We made it through last night, and sure enough, we did lose power. Just like I predicted. Because that's what happens. Okay, so anyways, let's get back to what you guys are really here for, and that's painting. Okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to take, once again, our paper. And if you notice this time, I've kind of changed the resolution. It's not too clear here, but when I come up here, at least you guys are going to be able to see it a lot better. So I will try to do my best to make sure that you guys see everything that I'm doing. Gio-san, hello. I say hello to you right back, my friend. Okay, so anyways, we're going to take this gray and we are going to wipe it off. And you can see it's a very, very light gray, but there's a reason for that. We want as light a gray as we can get. And what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm in the camera range and I'm going to move my mouse. Unbelievable. Sorry about that. You guys actually went off for a second because I hit the mouse pretty bad. All right, let's check again. Okay, there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take him and we're going to test on the bottom to make sure that we got as much of this off as we possibly could. Okay. And that's a little bit too much than I want on there. All right, so I'm going to come and all I'm going to do is very lightly with my hand here is I want to get over the legs. That's still a little bit too much. But it's not going to matter because I went over the armor part first. And the reason I'm doing this is I really kind of want to lighten this up. Lighten this hawk guy up a bit. But I want to keep that kind of blue tinge to him underneath. But I want to get the high points and get his muscle structure, which is important. And I'm not worried about going over, you know, make sure you use an old brush for this because this is a little difficult to do unless you do that. And now, okay, now we're seeing what I want. And I just want to hit the high points without having to sit there and overdo it with trying to do lines, because doing lines is just as good on this thing, but it can be a little tedious. So what we're trying to do is do this as quick as possible so you guys get a really good kind of grayish bluish look. But we're even gonna go a little farther than that, but we're gonna cheat like I said, and we're gonna go through and do it so we can really kind of bring that out. And you can tell I'm digging in there with this old brush. So we get something like that, as you can see. How you doing, Nathaniel? So that's what we kind of want to do. So we're going to do that on these other 4 guys. And you can see, kind of did it for his face already. See how we started working that? Because we have a plan that we're going to really we're going to dinge him out so he really looks that bluish, that kind of palish blue. But it's got to be that grayish, palish blue, because after all, he is Tanisha or whatever they call that. So we're going to take, again, and get in there and try to get as much of this as we can. Oh boy. I don't know why. I had such a hard time today getting going. Alright, that's why I started a little earlier. Alright, so same thing with this guy. See, that's too much. You want, so it's just light enough. See how that is? You can tell the difference. See how that's nice and light on there? Alright, so now we're going to come in here and we're just going to, see, that's even a little bit too much, but that's okay because I can work that out. Don't worry if it's too much, because when we do the wash over this, it's going to, actually we're going to use a glaze, and it's really going to help stand things out a bit. So we want to get the front of his legs, and then of course the most important part is his front of his chest and his body, and we want that to really kind of stand out a bit. And we're really going to grind our brush in there. As you see, I'm just getting those high points so it just stands out enough. And working that brush in there into the back of his neck, and perfect. Perfect for what we need right off the bat here. So we got that chest. As you can see the musculature right there. You can see how his chest is defined, and we're getting exactly what we want. Doing okay. Picked up 2 River War expansions, Run and Fight and Die at the miniature market sale. Oh, good. That's a fun game. I've got 2 sets of it, so we were going to do a super thing of it. But we just haven't got it. Every time we're going to do something, but we never get to it. And you can see on this one, I've already done this guy here. Kind of speed up and save a little time. And we got the skin right where we want it. Oh, I didn't do this guy. Well, that's okay, because we can do that very quickly. And we'll just put a little drop there. Oops, that's not a drop, that's an air bubble. There we go. And And we're just going to work this out. Now, right now, it doesn't make any sense what we're doing. You're probably going, okay, well, you know, this is screwy, but it'll make sense soon enough, trust me. Trust me on that. And tomorrow it'll all come together. And we just want to, there we go. Just want to highlight those things. And his back. And the other side of his tentacles there. Perfect. All right. And we're going to work on his chest, and his face. And we want that all to just kind of come together here. And it's okay that we're getting part of the armor and part of the weapons and stuff like that, because we're going to go all over that soon enough. I'll show you how we'll just whip that through. There we go. And you just got a nice dry brush there. That's what we want right now. Perfect. So let's move these guys out of the way, because we're not going to worry about them right now. We're going to let them dry a bit. And we're going to move on to another color. Now, since it's kind of imperative that we're going to find a little bit of a nastier brush, not one of my good ones, but I want something just a little bit with a little bit more play in it. Let's see what we can find here. This might do. All right, so we're going to take that same sky gray, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this in here. Well, again, we're using the sky gray, and just going to put a little drop there, because what we want to kind of do right now is I want to pull this all off as much as I can. Mom's playing with the dog. All right, and all I want to do is very lightly go over that spider web, kind of bring that out a little bit, and just kind of just highlight this little area here, because I don't want that black to kind of sit there, but I want to do it. I wanted to do it with a gray, because that gives it a little bit more depth. Now, I'm not worried about getting it on the skin or anything like that, because what's going to happen is that we're going to go over this guy with a wash, and you'll see exactly what happens here. But you can see that we'll pick up his arrows, and we're going to bring in his teeth and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about getting it on his skin. But the gray is doing exactly what I want, and that's just picking up the top highlights there, making that spider web look kind of cool. Just putting. Oh, I thought there was something wrong with the dog. And we're just going over. There we go. And you can see how that kind of stands out now. It's a quick fix for, you know, these guys. You know, just a nice quick, something quick. Because after all, so that'll really bring them out a bit. And you can add just a little bit more here and really work that in. So that's 2. And let's just pull some more off here. All right. And when it's time to do weapons, you know, we'll always come back and get these guys done. This guy, I've got to paint the green on him, so it doesn't matter if I just do this now. That's a little bit too much. I forgot to check my bottom. No, got too much paint there. There we go. Alright, so again, just that nice light going over. Try to get that spider web so it stands out a little bit without having to put a ton of work into it. Just remember, the whole point is to just make this as simple as possible and make it look nice on your table. Now you could do is go as detailed as much as you like, and that's fine. And sometimes just getting them so they're good and playable works pretty well. Alright, so again, we're just going over, and we got to paint the weapons and stuff like that still on these guys. And there we go. It's 2, and we still got 4 more to go. So let's get a little bit more on here. Not too much. And we're going to dry that off real good. Remember, if it's not to your liking, it's okay. Just take a little black paint and dry brush the black over it and cover it up. And then do it again. Do it the way you want to do it. Because that's what I can only show you what I'm doing and give you some ideas. But the most important thing is just be creative and do things and take ideas from different places and put them all together and come up with your own scheme. You see that? I messed that up, so I can fix that later though. And just do what's comfortable for you, what you want to see, how you want the figure to be. That's the most important thing. The end result of what you want. And just getting that spider web. That's all it is. Just a little. And then those top laces near his head. He's got, I don't know what goblin wears stuff like that. If you hear my wife, I'm sorry. She's just playing with the dog. They're having mommy puppy time, as they call it. Boy, tonight we had marinated steak. Boy, it was good. It's been sitting in the refrigerator since Saturday. Just sitting in that teriyaki sauce. I grilled that up. Boy, that was good. No grilled cheese today. That's tomorrow. Ghost pepper pickle, grilled cheese. And you guys will get to hear that too. Maybe I'll barely be talking. There we go. Another one. Maybe I can just eke out enough paint here on this horrific brush to do that. Hope everybody's having a good day. A good Tuesday. I don't know how good your Tuesday can be. If you work 5 days a week and it's one of your work days, maybe you like what you do. Who knows? All right, there we go. And we're just going to come over here and just get that nice quick dry brush on there. All right. Excellent. So we got those kind of right where we want to before we have to really go detail on those guys. So let's start finishing up these guys a bit and getting some work done on them. We'll work our way up to the pink horrors. And those guys, we're going to take a little bit of a sky blue. And we're just going to kind of dry brush over them before we really get into doing their fire that we're going to do right after, and then their teeth, which we will be doing. So I'm going to wash this brush off, forgive my arm. And we're going to take this and just kind of go over this. So we've got a lot done here, which is good, as always. So I'm going to take an Americana baby blue because I kind of like how that has a little bit of a light contrast to it. And we're just going to dry brush these guys. Now remember yesterday what we did with these guys. We went, and if you take a real good look at them, is that we went in there and we put that dark wash in there. And that really kind of set the tone for how these guys are. You can see they're all in the gaps there. It's all nice and covered up. So now we want to move on and we want to bring them back. And we want to really, really take a light color. Or maybe we should really go Haute Blue, because that's a lot lighter. Let me take a look here. No, I think it's just a hair. It's still a bit too dark. So we're gonna go with the baby blue. We're gonna go with the baby blue. And this is a good color to just dry brush with because it's very, very light. It's just got a touch of blue in there. And I'll show you how it looks in a second. I'm gonna really dab that in there. And you can see that's very, very, very light. So we've got to be very careful with this. We've got to make sure that we really get this off this brush. And I'm going to spin it in the brush here. And I'm going to take the bottom of my thing. That's still a little strong for me. And let's just see what happens when we start very lightly working it in there. Just going over the high points. And just, what's really going to make this guy pop is the fact that when we go and we just really send it home with his mouth and some of the spells that he has coming out of his arms, we don't want to lose too much of that. We just want to hit the high points like we're doing here. This is something I would use a good Pithlow blue. I can really dial in on the hue I want by mixing white and burnt umber. That's a good call too. Again, it's really something that you've got to feel that you want, are comfortable with, and that works for you. I can only give you the idea of how quickly to kind of get it without getting crazy. But you know, ultimately it comes down to what you guys want to do and how you guys see it. Maybe, you know, you only take one thing from this and you go, well, you know, that kind of works. Or maybe you see something, you go, you know something, I'm not going to do that because I don't like how that looks. I want a different type of look. It really comes down to how you want to create, what you want to do. And you can see this is what I'm going for here. Now you see how I kept that, and if you look in here, I've really kept that dark wash in there with that nice blue, but kind of went over it. And when we start adding the pink and the fire and the blades and everything and the silver, this guy's going to come in, his teeth, of course. That's going to be a big, big part of it. So that's what we're all going to do. We're going to try to finish these guys up today. So let me get to work here on the rest of them. This is a good time if you have any questions or you just want to say I'm a basic idiot for doing it this way. You know, go ahead. Just, you know, be a little bit more like Nathaniel and criticize me like he always does. I'm kidding. I really am. Nathaniel's been a long time, long time with me here on this channel. I don't think he's ever missed an event. I'll be shocked if I can go through my videos and see that he missed one event, because he's pretty dead on when I do stuff. One of my long time long time, not listeners or viewers. There you go. Duh. And you can see I'm just working this in here. Trying not to go too heavy, but trying to give that little bit of that three-dimensional. I want to be able to highlight. See how I'm getting. I keep that wash deep in that arm. Oh, let's try to bring this up a little closer. I can't. Focus just won't let me. I was kidding. I didn't say criticize. I was just giving you a hard time. Oh my God, now I can't tell any jokes. First of all, I'm not good at jokes. No, you never criticize. I messed up plenty. I'm just off and home when you start streaming. Oh, and here I thought you were watching because you liked it. No, I know you do. You've been at so many things. You've watched so many gameplays with the kids. I feel like almost like you're part of the family. There's a few of you that have been here quite a bit. All right. And you see, I'm still keeping that darkness in the mouth, and that's where I wanna do, because that's really gonna sell this guy when we get to our next step. Boy, I don't know why I'm having a tough time today, guys. Just give me a second here. It's not hot in here, but for some reason this band is killing me today. Summer in Florida. Dice Tower in a couple weeks. I'll try to get full coverage of that. We'll see how that goes. And then after that, got the Florida Championships. After that, MetroCon, I believe it is. Then Gen Con. Boy, it's going to be busy. I missed plenty. I'm just often home when you're streaming. That's funny. No. Always test the bottom of your thing. You don't care what the bottom of your thing looks like. I always use it because that's plastic and it gives you a good feel. So you get that good feel of your brush. And I'm just lightly going over this. I'm just letting the brush do the work, letting it just go over and actually just work in there. And it really just kind of does its own thing. That light baby blue. And there we go. This weekend they are so charged up to play this as painted as I can get it. They can't wait, and I got to work on their figures, but I really kind of wanted to get most of the villains done and my hero done because I don't care about theirs. They both have shards, and I'm the only one without a shard. Figure that one out. There we go. You see what we're getting here? That's what we want. All right. Let's do the last guy here. And then we're going to get to work here. I can never beat Kabuki Kid for watching live streams. No, actually, I think it's Jamstrat. Jamstrat usually is the master of popping in for a few minutes and then poof. I'm trying to think who else. Kurt usually pops in for a few minutes, plugs his site, and then moves on. Who else do we have? Whoops. There's a few of them that are always here. Especially if we're doing family game night. Pete's been around, but Pete went missing for a while, so. Pete was working on that Dungeon Crusade. Does anybody know what that's at right now? How much Roger's making? I really liked bringing that out for Roger and trying to help him on the site here. And I wanted to do more Kickstarter stuff, but nobody has interest of being on this channel. So I kind of let it go. Don't worry, someday people will call me instead of me having to call people. And all I want to do is help them with their products and stuff like that. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, so that looks pretty good. All right, so we got those guys nice and dry brushed. So next thing we're going to do is wipe this out because I like that spot for some reason today. Wash this brush out. And we are going to get, where was it? What color did we want to make that fire? You could do whatever you want. But I think I'm going to go with a Wild Rider red for it. So it has that arcane fire kind of bit going on. So that's what we're going to do right off the bat. 64,000 of 70,000 with 19 days left. Should fund. That's good. Hey Rob, how you doing? Hopefully not too wet from yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't. It was bad. We lost power and it was pretty wet, but it's nice and dry today. It's beautiful out. My wife's out playing with the dog. Can't go wrong. Another good day in Florida. All right, let's turn on our light a bit. All right, now we're just gonna take this brush. I'm gonna take this right out of the pot. And I'm just gonna kind of work it in there a bit. And I've got to be careful with this. I'm going to take a little of the excess away here. Work onto the other side. And just remember, just take your time, especially in these tight areas. Took all that time to dry brush it. You know, you don't want to mess it up. And there we go. Up top. And then we're just going to curl around here. There we go. Get underneath. And I'm just, and there we go. Much better. I like it. So we're going to put that one aside. We're going to let that dry, but in the meantime, we're going to do a few other things while that's drying. So again, it's the same situation. And getting these blue horrors where we want them is pretty important. Because these are almost, it almost seems like they're the main villain that you see. And you're always seeing these guys around. Because every 5 seconds, we're rolling and we're pulling up doggone pink horrors, which just split into these guys, split into the other guys. Might as well have them looking good, though. Okay. All right. Let's see. Speaking of Kickstarter, anybody going to back Massive Darkness? Minis look awesome. Ooh, that dry brushing really makes those look cool. Thanks, bro. And it's a simple thing. Instead of, I see a lot of people doing them where they just kind of, they paint the lines on it. And, you know, I don't think you guys, some of you guys are newbies to this, don't have the patience to do that. So use the dry brush technique, and don't forget to use the bottom of the base to make sure that you got enough off. When it feels like you hardly have any paint on there, that's the time. Because you remember, Better to have too little paint than too much. All right. So there you go. So we got the arcane fire there. There's nothing that we have to put in there. Nothing we have to put in there. But we are on a mission, aren't we, today? We are on a mission. So what we're going to do, we'll clean off that brush. I hate that brush. Close that up. Move that around. And there was something I was looking for. And I believe it was Emperor's Children again. Because, I don't know, maybe I should do something a little more classic with this. Do like a light purple. And then come out with the pink afterwards. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So let's dig through here, this menagerie. If I can move some of these paints around because I got so many of them laying around here. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to take this Gene Stealer purple. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. How did the pink ones turn out? Well, we're going to be working on those next. We're actually going backwards, believe it or not. Dungeon crawlers aren't our thing. Yeah, no, not at all. What wash did you use on the blue horrors? I used got it right here, Dragonoff Nightshade. I was really hoping that tanks would be out this week and I would be able to go get it. Now, I'm going to paint this tongue purple for now. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. You can see I'm just using one of my favorite colors of all time, which is the Gene Stealer purple. Now I'm going to go in here like an assassin and get the back end of that. There we go. So that looks okay, but it's not what we're looking for. Dragonoff Nightshade, I think that's the blue wash. That is correct. And then I'm going to do the same thing for our boy here. Actually, I could do it this way a lot better. There we go. That's tongue number 2. His tongue is not out. His tongue is not out. So we don't have to worry about that. So now we're going to close that up. And we're going to clean off this brush. We're going to let that dry for a second. Now while that's drying, we're going to do a few things here. We are going to take one of my favorite things to use, and that is, if I can find it, where'd it go? Not Sandry dust, but you shabby bone. You shabby bone. GF9 had to ship manufacturing tanks from Malaysia to China, delivery delayed. Yeah, they said though end of May. So I thought it would be here at least by now. I mean, it's 10th day of June. Well, no, tomorrow will be the 8th. So I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping to have it for this weekend so we can give it a good look. All right, so this is when you really are going to test yourself here. And I mean, you're really going to test yourself. So while I'm here, I've got... Now usually, one of the things I like to do is do all the Ushabi bone right when I'm doing Ushabi bone, of course. And Just bear with me for a second as I take a look at a few things here. Yeah, that. No, 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 no. No. So I usually try to do all the bone stuff up front. But today, because what we're trying to do is give you guys a... I checked out tanks after you mentioned it. Looks very cool. It uses the same tanks from Flame of War, so if you have those, exactly. I was thinking of doing opposite, building up small tank army, then shifting slowly to Flames of War. Exactly. Because they're so cheap. I've got a couple box sets of it, so I'm really actually thinking of really going to town on it. And really going big with Just, because I know Just will love that. Okay, so now, what are we up to? I'll tell you exactly what we're up to. As soon as I can pull up, because I do everything from sight, so it's a little difficult sometimes. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to take some of this Ushabi bone, and you want to be very careful, folks. This is that part where I tell you, when you just work and you make sure that you got both arms on the table, and just because this is a critical part of this monster right here is their teeth. And you can see that I'm not getting too low. I'm just letting the brush barely touch. And you watch how all of a sudden, remember I told you that one part where that monster just kind of comes alive. That's one of them. That's one of those moments. You see you got that black in the background, and it really kind of works. So the other thing that we want to do is we want to get down here and do his feet. And we want to get a little bit more here. Whoops, that's a little bit too much, but I'll make it work. My hands are a little shaky today, so that's why you got to use a little bit of a better brush sometimes. And then we're going to hit here. See how all of a sudden that all kinds of starts to come together. It all makes sense. All that hard work that you did. And then let me get this elbow on this table because my hand is off today. And those fingernails really kind of sell that dry brush, if you see what I mean. And once we put his eyes in, bam, that guy's going to look pretty good. What do you think? Whoops, how about if I get in the camera so you guys can see it? That's not very fair, is it? And boom, just like that, you got yourself a blue horror. And it didn't take that long, did it? Do you know they are the same scale as the tanks from Axis and Ally Miniatures game? Oh, really now? Then we're going to have to do that up too. All right, and then let's just keep going here. But, since we have this Ushabi bone out, we're going to do a few things with it. Because you really, you try to get one paint out and just do what you have to do. So let's hit there. Let's hit there. Hit there. Hit there. That thumb is everything right there because that kind of sells the whole magic thing. And you see what I'm talking about, how that thumb, just that one nail kind of sells that rest of that whole thing there. Now the other thing that we can do here, and I didn't do it on the other guy, I'll go back, you could just go very lightly, and then you sell his hand right there. Exactly. And then on this side, you want to just touch those nails just a hair, and then start working those teeth. And you just don't want to connect the teeth. That's the thing. You rather have too little than too much on. And there we go. Again, I hope I'm in camera for crying out loud. Yeah, that's one of the hardest things. It's hard enough to paint, but it's even harder trying to do it while taping. So I really admire a lot of people that try to do this. They really do some great work. All right, let's get a little more here. And just take your time with this, you know. You don't have to rush this. There's only 4 models. But, you know, this part I think is one of the most important parts. You know, you get that skin just looking really nice, and then you just mail it home right here. And then boom, you got yourself Blue Horrors, just like that. Just like that. Oh, it's my favorite punk who just got home.
Hey,
What's up, Jess?
not much.
How was the gym?
Good.
Good. Justin's going to the gym every day. And you can see here we're doing the same thing. We're just working those fingernails. Very important. And we want to get that there. We're going to work that right there. And then up over here, kind of, you know, this is maybe one that you wanted to do last on this guy, but that's okay. Now here you have to be exceptionally careful because you have the tongue there. Oh, hold on, bam, already looks good. Thank you, Chris. That's very nice of you. Thank you, Sean. Hey, Rob, I sent you that email about my SD. You said to use a pink glaze. I never used the glaze before. How does that work? What kind of effect does it do? It gives you like a, I'm gonna use a glaze in a little bit, so I'll explain it more when I get to it. I think that'll be the best thing to do is actually show you how to use the glaze. Glazes give you that light hue, but you don't sell out the other color.
Subtle shine.
Oh, a subtle shine, is that what you're going to call it, Miss Tammy?
It clears. Subtle shine.
Oh, just go away. Everybody's a comedian in this house. Everybody thinks they're funny. My wife, the YouTube star. All right, now here is very mission critical. We want to be very careful because we don't want to catch that tongue, but we want to be able to just take our time, sell those teeth. Sell those teeth. See what I'm saying? Those teeth sell that. They sell it. Kevin, how are you? You're catching me. I'm on a roll, my friend. All right, let's go back here. Grab a little bit more of that paint. Where's the dog, by the way? Tam? No. They must have took the dog outside. Okay, let me make sure I'm in here. Okay, I'm in view. Like I said it yesterday, I'll say it again today. You're not getting a polished program here. You get real life. And that's the thing that we try to capture is our real life and you guys just being a part of it. So for those of you that heard me say this about 1 billion times, I apologize, but for you new people, this is all you get. You get no fluff, no music, no real cutesy background. This is how it'll be when you guys do it. So why not give you that feel of how things will go and then start to plan and how you would handle it, how you would do it differently from me, how you would be more original than I am. And then send me your pictures and say, hey, Rob, I did this better than you. And I like it. And you know something? That's a good thing. Because that means that you really liked what you did. And for me, that's the best thing that could ever happen. It's not about being better than somebody or being See how that's a nice line right there, so we want to make sure we keep that. You're not always going to get it perfect, but there's going to be those moments that you're just going to shine. And like I told you, and I keep on telling you, especially with these teeth. I hope I'm on camera. Yes, I am. I had to look up. See, that's the hardest thing is when you get in that zone and you start looking and you start painting, you have that focus, but you break that focus for a second, and so it makes it a little bit more difficult because you got to come back and you got to hone in. There we go. All right. So there we go. So while we got the blue horse kind of really under control, this is a pretty good moment to grab our boys here and take those paint quarters and start thinking about their teeth. Now I'm looking inside, seeing how they look, seeing how things are going here. And you can see that wash really, actually I think I should put that off, but because I got to think how I'm layering things. And I'm going to have to get near that mouth, so no, we're going to have to put these guys off for a few minutes. Unfortunately, it's just something that just wouldn't work at this moment. So let's clean off that brush. Because I'll show you what I mean by I just couldn't do the teeth on them. After watching the Silver Tower playthroughs, do you think that Justin's character may be a little OP compared to yours and Janice's? I don't know, because if he doesn't make the rolls, he's a sitting duck, and he could get chewed up really quickly. And I think that little he's had good rolls. So I think that little thing that he does where he disappears behind somebody is going to come back to bite him because he thinks he's tougher than he is. We haven't fought anything that I would say is earth-shattering. So for me, I think he's playing a little Russian roulette with himself, and he's not going to like what's going to happen when it all goes bad. All right, so let's see here, and just bear with me for a second. Let's go down and take a look here. What do I want to do here? All right, that's good. That's good. Do I want to give him a gold blade or a silver blade? Let's give him a silver blade with silver necklaces and stuff like that. So we're going to take no, let's go gold. These guys are over the top with their gold, and I love this retribution armor. Which, oh, by the way, I missed a spot yesterday. I'm very upset with myself, so I got to break this guy out and just do something real quick with him. I missed this hole inside of his arm, which was pretty upsetting. I noticed it when I was painting the white part. So while we got it out, we just fix it up, right? Like I said, you're going to make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. And of course, this is gold. So we're just going to go over that. Top of the hilt. And then we're going to go here and just kind of round that out right now for now, because we're going to come back and we're going to paint over all this at some point. And that. All right, so we get to put that down now. Now let's get back to our little brush here. And we are going to, he's got a little gold band here. You got to be careful, we just did all that work and it'd be such a shame. And this is where you just kind of take your time and just touch the brush along the area. I kind of like the gold knife here, so I'm going to go with that. Hey, Just.
Yep.
They all asked you a question.
Oh, sorry.
No, when you come back. Hold on, let me just catch up. Glade. Oh, wait, nice work. Oh, boy, they really got ahead of me. All right, hold on for a second.
Sure.
Just wait here. I just want to finish this.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, you go get your thing, and then I got to catch up with some questions here. I feel bad. I let it go because I'm so busy just being a dork painting. And I'm sorry, guys. Just bear with me. I'll answer and read out all the stuff that had just been posted. See, I like this gold. I like how this kind of stands out a little bit. It makes these guys kind of like really nasty, you know? Because everything in Tanish is kind of gold and that bright blue and bright colors, and you never think that something's so evil. Then again, you know, it makes me wonder, things that wear a lot of gold are evil. Things that wear a lot of gold are evil.
Don't even look
What are you looking at me for? I was
Because
just
I knew
thinking.
you were looking at me.
Whoa! I wasn't looking at you. I'm painting here. I was just trying to put 2 and 2 together. Huh. Wow.
Sure thing.
Wow, I can't believe that you would go there and think I was talking about you. Boy, you're so full of yourself tonight. Okay, let's see. Rob, I sent you an email. Yeah, Kevin, the glaze increases a transparency of the paint. Good, thank you. That is some nice work. He wanted me to use it over the white to give it a pink glow. At least that's what I took from it. Makes sense to me. I tend to use silver glaze over white to give a mirror look. After watching Silver Tower, okay, here we go, Justin. After watching the Silver Tower playthrough, do you think Justin's character may be a little OP compared to yours and Janice's?
I feel like, kind of, yeah. That's kind of why I picked him, was because I didn't know anything about the game, but when I was looking at the different cards, I was like, oh man, this is a really cool ability that he can just teleport like that and then do double damage on his next attack. But the very first adventure that we did,
yeah, hold on.
I wasn't able to use the ability very much because
You have to roll.
I wasn't getting 6s.
Yeah.
And now this second adventure that we did, I was getting a lot of 6s, so I feel like I was kind of OP, yes, but it might have been based on the dice.
Well, also, I think that can backfire. You can go behind them, but if you don't make the rolls, you're sitting duck.
To be honest with you, I feel like your character is OP.
Whoa.
Well, just hear me out. The paladin or knight guy, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that I know that he can just do 3 damage.
Yeah, but I got to have 6s to do that.
I have to have. Well, that's true. That's true. But I do on my strongest attack, I do D3 damage. So like, there's a chance that I could do 3 damage. Now, if I do that teleport, I could do up to 6 damage, right? Because it's ×2.
Right.
But it's still D3. So if you roll a 1, it's 2 damage.
Right.
And you just use 2 dice to do 2 damage.
Now, you've never rolled a 6 and did 6 damage.
I don't think so, no. Maybe once. I don't know. But that'd be really good. It's all... The thing with the guy that I've been playing, the Tenebril Shard, I don't know how to pronounce it, but when he does an attack, if you roll a 6, you can immediately make another attack. So it's just dependent on your luck for that day, because if you're rolling 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, he can just keep attacking and attacking, and you can teleport around the board and do a lot of crazy things. But if you don't,
if you don't have the dice, you're not going to be able to do it.
If you don't have the dice, then I feel he's worse than your character.
Yeah. Because I think he gets chewed up because he doesn't have a big save.
His save is 5, your save is 3. It's a big difference.
See, and that's where I was saying earlier, guys, that I don't think that we've faced anything yet. You remember, this is only our second trial, but now that these guys are painted, they're going to be a lot nastier.
Without a doubt, he's a good character, though.
Oh, yeah, he's good. But some of the villains look like they're pretty OP, too.
That ogre has 18 HP, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right, see what we're getting here, guys? Wow, that gold makes that knight look amazing. Yes, he does. I do love the new whatchamacallit. Let me see here. So, okay, what's that though? Oh, that's just a gold medallion on his thing. Okay. So yeah, okay, we'll go with that. But you know, each character has their own ability, but if you don't roll, boy, woo, it's a long day at the park for sure.
I like our party that we have, the
Yeah,
three of us,
it's
because
very
you're like the tank, I'm
yeah
like the damage dealing assassin guy, and then Janice has a ranged attack.
yeah, which helps out a lot. That range attack has been pretty handy. Let's see. All right, so that's it for that. Okay, so this does not have a lot of gold on it, shockingly. So let's just paint that up, touch that up, and then we're going to fix those tongues. And I would say that these guys look pretty doggone good. Well, I'm going to do a little bit more on that fire. So let's let these two guys dry. No, I got to paint this guy. We'll fix their tongue, and then we'll finish up the fire a bit. And then I'm going to say the blue horrors are in pretty good shape. What do you guys think? So, not bad. Day 2, and we're doing pretty good so far. And, you know, we got the gobos under control. We got the little fire dudes under control. Oh, I got to do their eyes. That's what I was doing. I was saving everything for the end so I can do their eyes. Oops. That's my bad. All right. So you see how that gold really kind of makes, along with that dry brushing, really makes these guys look pretty cool. So we did that. So let's close up this gold. This gold has lasted me almost 2 armies. Unbelievable. Let's if I can get through this box set. Now, just to let you guys know that after this box set, we get this painted up, I'm going to be going on kind of a bit of a Warhammer tirade. We're going to be doing Overkill. We're going to be doing Assassin Asorium or whatever it's called. And I think I have 2 other games. Overkill, and there's something else. The 30K. Oh my God. There's one more big one where it's 30K. It's the Betrayal at Caliph. So we're going to be doing those right in a row. And then by then, Lost Patrol will be out, and then we'll work on that. So if you are into the Warhammer universe, we are going to be painting a lot of it over the next month or so. So I just figure I throw that out there, gentlemen. All right, what was I going to do here? Okay. Now remember how I said about these guys right here. All right, that tongue. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take Emperor's Children, and we are going to just take a dab of this, and we're just going to, maybe I'll just take a little bit of that off the brush there, and just kind of work that. So there you go. It's kind of a purple pinkish tongue. What do you guys think? There you go. So we got that Gene Stealer purple there, and then we just take that Emperor's Children and we just grab from the edge and just kind of work a little bit of it in there. So at the end, we really comes out strong where it's pink. So you kind of got like that multicolored tongue in there. So there you go. That's how we make that happen. All right. Let's clean off this. Alright. And then I'm going to put this brush down. And we are going to go back to this little bit of a bigger brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our yellow a bit. Will you do a live game night of Assassorium Execution? That is correct. I will be doing that as well. And we will be painting that here next week. And that'll be for next weekend because Justin told me I better. So we figure we mix things up with you. We'll at least have one Games Workshop game until we're all caught up a weekend. Of course, the weekends that I'm here. And then okay, so we're just going to kind of just touch that a little bit. And like I said before, I'm going to just throw that on there and give that a little bit more of a nice look there. And let me take a little bit more of it. We will definitely be doing it. Everything that we paint, we will be playing live. Okay. All right. There we go. And we're just working that in there. And working that into the front. And we're just going to let that dry for a second. Clean that off the brush. Make sure that's down. Put that over there. Put that over there. And then, like I said, I really like this flat yellow. It's a very, very bright yellow. And it works for me. So we're going to take a little bit of a drop of this. And I'm just going to work that around. While it's kind of wet, I really kind of want to just go over the top of this and just get it even a little bit brighter. There we go. And just hitting that high point. So we kind of got that blazing fire look, if you call it blazing fire, magical fire. All right, there we go. So let's put those guys aside. So that's 8 guys so far that we kind of got in the wheelhouse. Of course, we got to do their eyes. We'll save that for last so we don't waste paint. And let's just close that out. Let me see. Oh, come on. Stupid thing. All right, so close these guys. We'll move these guys out of the way. And I just get them off the board completely. So that's 8 guys. Well, actually, a little bit more than that, but we still have some things that we have to do on those guys. So let's get right to the pink horrors, huh? So now, with them, we have to be very, very careful in what we're going to do here. So we're going to take a touch of that Emperor's. There we go. We're going to take our crushed brush here, and we are going to take just a drop of this Emperor's Children. And I want that to sit right in there. Then I'm going to take some just white. And I am just going to, maybe, this is a Vallejo white. I really like their white. It's as good as the skull white, but I don't know, I just like having more control of it. And here we go. Is that white enough for me? No, I don't think so. I need another drop. This is kind of a waste of paint, but what am I going to do? But the Vallejo is cheap, so I don't mind. And I really kind of want this as white as possible. And let's just work this here. Maybe put a drop there. Just to make sure that I don't get it too light. And I think that's kind of what I'm looking for. I think that's it. I think we got it. I think so. What's with the names of the Games Workshop paints? It kind of makes it hard to know what color it is. I know. It really does. You know, they try to name them after some of their characters to be cute. You know, instead of saying hot pink or light pink or anything like that, you know, Emperor's Children. Well, you know, that's basically, I don't know what that is. After using them for a while, you get used to them. Yeah, that's very true too. Okay, so now this is the tricky part because you can very easily lose this. You can lose these guys in a heartbeat here, so just give me a second here. Alright, well, that doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so I'm just going to push this on the bottom here and make sure that I got enough of it off. So in case I don't like it, because I kind of do everything by eye, believe it or not. I have something in my head and I go with it. And I'm doing the same thing I did with our other guys there. And I'm just going over very lightly with this brush and really just trying to work that lighter pink in. And just nice and easily without losing anything here. And that's why I didn't paint the I still need a little bit more of that. I took too much of it off. I think my Vallejo paints are dead. They are getting very chalky and grainy, even when adding in a little water. Huh. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Is that alright? Yeah, okay. So we're going to work on the front here. Shoot. It's not, well, alright. And we want to just kind of, I don't want to lose all that nice work I did with the, oh, that's working pretty good. I don't want to lose all that work. And this is a quick way to do this. A lot of people have you thin out the different paints and go over it a few different times. But I think this is the best method that you can do to really kind of get what you're looking for with a pink horror. And you see how that kind of starts to stand out, nice and thick. It has that pink hue to it, but it also is, it's just sitting on top of the muscle, and we're not losing detail that we had from that heavy wash. So there you go. Let me just work a little bit more on this back area and this tail. And you see it's all starting to somehow come together in some sick fashion way. Alright, let's do that again. Because I know everybody was kind of concerned when I went over and I did that red wash. Yeah, I bought one of the miniature markers and it came dead. But sponge label saw code, and I guess it was from 2009. Yeah, that's nice. Did they give it back? Did they refund you? All right, so let's just do that on the bottom there, and that's a little bit much there. So I'm just going to work that there, and you see the complete difference and how it's done. And you'll see once I start putting all the other colors how it'll really make sense, though. And that's when it all will come together. And we're just going to make sure that we get that in there real good. Work on to the front. And then we're going to take a little bit more, do more of the same. And, oops. And just kind of, just really work that in there. And there we go. My dog just was going nuts. What's the matter with her? Who was doing that?
She's playing with her phone.
Oh. Well, yeah, it's all that energy from being in the house for the last couple of days. Oh, that's good. She was all right, Justin. I wasn't complaining. Yeah, she can use the exercise. All right. Good night, Rob. I'm heading out the door. Take it easy, Nathaniel. Chalky, haha. Exactly. Yeah, they refunded me. And I also wrote Vallejo, but they didn't. They never answered anything. Well, that's usually the case sometimes. All right, so now you can see that we really kind of got that look that we're kind of looking for. But it's not going to come together until we get all those other things in there. So we're going to clean up this brush. And the first thing that we want to do is we got some moot green. Maybe this moot green, yeah, because this one's open. I gotta get a little more organized here. Now, while we have the moot green out, is kind of why I kind of put everything off to the side for a bit. Now we're gonna get our small brush, and we are going to take this moot green, and we're going to paint. We're going to paint right, and we're going to make this spell moot green. There we go. just got to take our time here. Work that in there. All right, now we're going to take a little bit more. Come up. And we're going to use the reverse fire with this because we're going to make, well, we're actually going to do the actual correct way you should do fire is that the light color always goes underneath and then the darker color goes on top. So you'll see what we're going to do so we can get that effect that this is definitely some kind of magic that this dude is really working out here. So there we go. Just want to get the ends here. I want to get that sign. All right. And get the end. So there we go for his thing there. Maybe Bad Batch. Yeah, it was a strange color. Game effects. I guess no one buys that color. Okay, see you in a while. We'll go pick up my wife at work. Take it easy. All right, so put that aside. Yeah, we should be on for about. I ordered Citadel Celestial Gray from Amazon. It arrived super thick. Yeah, it's really tricky with paints because they do have a shelf life. As much as you want to pile them up and have tons of paint, they're not any good unless you use them. Is this guy really saying this? See, I got distracted because she's watching this stupid reality show. This guy's saying now he's pushing to get the baby out, and the lady's there dying, and oh god, and you wonder why I paint. All right, there we go. And we're just going to get this around here. Now, while we have this move green out, we're going to do a couple things. First thing is we're going to start getting some of these eyeballs on these dudes. And I want to go green on it. I always like the way the green works with the blue, and I think it just stands out real good. So what we're going to do is we have to be very careful, or else all our work was for nothing. And there, we got a green eye in there. Now he's done. And then we're going to do the same thing with this guy. Hey, Rob, those guys are looking good. Thanks, Joe. My ceramic white base is getting that way, and it's new. Yeah, it does get a little thick. All right, so now let's get in there. Get this one. Okay, got that one. Now we want to make sure that we get these two eyes here. And these are the trickiest because they're so small. So we got that one. And if we don't get it right, like I said, it kind of defeats everything that we've done. All right, there's that one. You just want to touch on that brush and just very easily get it in there. There we go. And there we go. So there we go. These guys are dead on and perfect the way we, well, they're not perfect, but they're good enough. All right, so then these guys also have, we're going to put a little green eyes on her and give them that really cool kind of effect. Jess and I were actually thinking of doing Dread Fleet. I've got a completely painted fleet. Huh, Jess?
Yep.
We haven't played in year or two. We only ever did was the first mission. See, those little green eyes do make a big difference on those guys. So those guys are complete, which is good. I'm just going to finish up here with the green eyes, green eyes, green eye, green eye. Same thing with this guy. And then we'll be done with the moot green. Like I said, you try to knock things out as you go, and then you'll find that when you're doing one thing, you try to use the paint for another thing. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't. These guys go over there, so they're done. And then, of course, these guys right here. And then there, and then there. All right, so 8 of the 51 done. Not bad. All right, so now the next thing that we really want to do and really start bringing these guys back up and around. There's also a date on the bottom of the jar as well. I try not to buy anything before 2012. Well, that's when the Earth was supposed to be gone, remember? We want to get this tongue, and I think that's a big part to get done right away. Because the tongue here on the pink horse, we want to be able to work out, and we want to start getting those teeth in there. So that's why we're going to get that tongue right now. And let's see what brush we're going to use for that. I would have to go with this one right here. I'm going to use a telescope, kind of like that, and then we'll just top it off with something. But right now, that's what I think will work best. So we're just going to take that. No, I don't like this brush at all. Matter of fact, this brush is getting thrown out. Well, no, I'm going to use it for a dry brush somewhere. So I'm going to put this in my bad brush pile. Oh no. Okay, so we're going to use this one. Okay, so now this will work at least. And I mean, if we ended up hitting something with the blue, it's not the end of the world, but it just means that we couldn't finish what we were trying to do there. So the blue tongue is important to get in there while we can. So let's get in there with the other blue tongue, because it gives some depth to that black mouth. Now we want to get underneath there, and that works pretty good. So I'm quite happy with that. We'll paint the eyes blue afterwards. Right now, let's just get back to what we were doing really well, which was, boy, I had this is a master touch brush too. Just looks like it's missing a couple things here, so we're just going to put that up there. Take this one out again, since this seems to be my brush of choice today. And we're going to go back to our Ushabi bone, and we're going to start working our guy here. And this is where we're going to kind of try to bring him home. Let's see if I missed anything. I've started painting Star Wars Armada fighters. They're so small, the squadron markings on the X-Wings are killing me. Yeah, they do beat you up. I will tell you that much. I've done a couple hundred of them, so. It is not fun. All right. So there we go. So I'm going to start here because I think the paint's a little thick. I'm going to start on his feet here. There we go. There's that, and then we're going to start working these teeth. And he's got 2 layers of teeth, so you got to really work hard here. And then these layer on the outside. Am I showing you guys? Okay, good. And that's where we don't want to miss too much here. Okay. There we go, and we're moving that in. Alright, there we go. And there we go. Now these top teeth here are very important because they're going to sell that whole mouth there. We want to make sure that we get those dead on. And just working that whole area. And you see how that makes a big difference on this model. And it all starts coming together. Everything just starts coming together somehow, some way. Okay, so then we're going to do that. His fingernails. And there, and there, and there, and there, and there. He has no fingernails there, but he does have them here on this dagger that he holds. So we want to make sure we get those. And up there he's got 2. So we're just going to put there and there, and then on the back side and on the back side. And there you go. He's coming together very, very nicely. So we're going to work this pretty good here. So let's get back over here. And, just want to take a quick look at something. At the pink horror. Because we want to make sure that we get it as close as we can. Alright, that's gold, gold, silver, 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 gold, gold. And green. Okay, perfect. Exactly what I was hoping it would be. Alright, so let's get these guys done. I think we can get these guys done pretty quickly. So, I got that. I did that. Okay, so this is finger. And that, backside, that, and that, and that, and that. Then, here we go with the teeth. Just taking our time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks pretty good. Now these inside teeth, these are a little tougher. There we go. And then again. And we're just bringing this, we're just moving this very, very slowly in here, making sure that we get all these teeth individual and that the paint does not run together and you lose the integrity of the teeth. And it's just taking your time, working from the top of the tooth down to the bottom because you don't want it to bleed over onto the gum. Then you got a problem, and then you want to kind of just make sure that you get behind the teeth a bit, especially in the black mouth, because it'll help sell the feature of the whole model there. Alright, and there you go. Now let's just get the rest of these fingers and we can move on to the next stage that we're going to do. Oh, well, let's not forget his feet here. There we go. And we got to get these nails on his feet. There we go. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to do this. And here. Let's see here. There, and then that big nail that he has, that really stands out. Did I get it on the other one? Hope I did. And we're going to hit that one there. If you have comments, I'll check them in a second, so just bear with me. I'm terribly sorry. I'm really engulfed in getting this guy done. And there we go. Bup, 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 bup. Proving that you guys can do this pretty quickly. Hey, Rob just joined. How's it going? It's going very good. Howdy, folks. See, Rob is still working on the Purple People Eaters. Yeah, you could say that. You can say that. See, I did forget that one. See, there are times where when you start doing a monotonous amount of, or the same type of creature, that you're going to find that you're going to just, you got to make sure that you think, did I do this on the other guy? And that's just going to help you along. Okay, bink, 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 bink. That's done, that's done, that's done. Perfect. Okay, so now we can close up the Ushabti bone. So we're really cranking along here. I wonder. I'm not going to mess with that right now. All right. So we're going to clean off this brush. And we are going to take out a color that is Rune Fang Steel. I think I had it. Oh, there it is. Rune Fang Steel, which is just basically your silver, but it's a very, very good silver. And I want it to stand out. Big Bang, how are you? And Sean, I go to my local team. All right, here we go. And we've been going pretty good for about an hour and a half. And we are almost completely done with the pink, blue, and other horrors, as well as the gits there. The gobos, which is another 8. That'll put us at 6, 10, 18 of the figures done. That means we're doing pretty good, and we're really mowing through things, and that's key. Because it's important to get all the main stuff done. Alright, so we're going to take this Rune Fang Silver, and we are going to use that right on this area here. And there we go. And we're going to come back on the back side here. And we just want to make sure that we get that that silver in there real good. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, and then we're going to go over here. And then we're going to come over to the top here with the silver. We're going to make sure that this is silver. These are silver. And let me see if that's true. Yes. I got those as silver. Alright, there we go. And let's see. That ring right there is silver. And we're going to come around there. And that's good. Let's see, what else do we got that's silver on this guy? This here, this band, we're going to make silver. And, alright. I think that takes care of all the silver parts. Silver, 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 silver. That's going to be gold. That's going to be gold. That's going to be gold. And that ring is silver. Man, where did he get all this bling? That's what I'd like to know. Probably off the souls of all the people he's killed. Alright, so there. Now let's do the same thing with this guy. Well, I'm going to bed. It's late over here. Take it easy, Big Bang. Have a good one, my brother. So let's go over here and just get that on here. And there. And we just got that good silver going on there, or steel. And we just want to get that in there, because then we're going to hit this guy with some gold real quick. We're going to get this here. We want that to be silver. We want that to be silver. That to be silver. Oops, I goofed that a bit. That's all right. We'll get by it. That's going to be silver. That's going to be silver. That's going to be silver. Okay. That looks good. That. We got that. Oh, I almost forgot those bands right there. See, that's why you double check everything. You take your time. I know it gets monotonous and can really make your head sore a bit. But you're going to find that these guys, once you're done with them, it's going to be worth it. And
Those guys are looking cool.
they're done.
Oh man, look how cool. Can I show Janice?
Yeah, sure.
Janice, look how good of a job they're doing.
All right, there we go. All right, so there. That's good. All right, so now that we got the silver done, now we can go back over to gold. I know I'm boring the heck out of you guys, but this is all the work that you got to grind at.
about that. You've gotten really good.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody live knows that now.
No, I'm saying they look really good.
Thanks. I'm all right. I'm getting there. It just takes time. I mean, like I said, I'm no better than anybody else. Just average, but you know, at least we get them on the board and they look pretty good.
I think so.
Well, thank you, Just. If you get the approval of your son, then you're doing all right. All right. So now that we got the silver done, we're going to go with the gold again, because that's where this is really going to come all together for this guy. So we're going to make sure this brush is solid, and we're going to take that gold, and then we're going to work it, and you can see where this is going to be very crucial on this guy, is by really just getting and highlighting those things up front. If you want, you could put some gems on them, which isn't a bad idea either, because that would be kind of cool. But according to the way I saw it in the magazine, that it's just gold, a lot of gold bracelets. So we'll go with that. This is gold. This is gold. I think I'm going to paint those things gems eventually. But for today, we just want to kind of get this guy where we go, hey, you know something? That guy looks all right. So we're going to come back over here. Come down here with that, because I want to show you how these feathers go. All right, that. We'll come back over here and really work that in there. Around there. Really like what's going on with this guy. And we want to get this here. That's gold. This is gold. And these guys really went kind of crazy with the gold here. You know, they really like looking blinged out. My wife thought I was calling her a pink whore, because I said, geez, where did they get all this gold from? I don't know. She don't look like one. She may act like one every once in a while, but she didn't hear that because she's in the other room. All right. All right, and that goes there. Let's just get that little bit there. Boom. All right. Let me see what we got going on here, huh? All right, so let's do the other one real quickly. Give that a chance to dry so we can come back to it real quick. Because we want to get those eyes done. We definitely want to get those eyes done. And we're going to come up on that hilt there. And then we're going to come up over here. Now we're going to come back over here on this part of the hilt. And work in here. Just chewing away at this, you know what I mean? Not getting that skin. Make sure you start at the middle so you don't hit that skin. You worked real hard on that skin, so you don't want to ruin everything that you just did. I mean, that you broke your hiney to do. You really kind of want that to really kind of stand out, because you put a lot of work into it, guys. Okay. Now, get that here. And we're going to take a little more of this and go here, come here, really just hitting all of this and making sure that we make it nice and neat. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but clean is, just having a nice clean model really makes a difference, guys. It really makes a difference. You know, people can say, oh, well, you know, it's not as detailed. Well, you know, if it's clean, it looks nice when you put it on the table. And what I mean clean is, you know, there's no overrun or anything like that. You know, that's nice in its own right. You know what I mean? That's good work. A lot of people wish they can do some clean work. And you work so hard at it, you know, getting the skin right. You want to make sure that everything else is nice and clean. There's no overrun. And you got everything right where you want it to be, so it just works for you. And you're your biggest critic, and you got to make yourself happy. And that's the one thing that I tell everybody. Make yourself happy. Those pink hoarders remind me of a cross between a beholder and a Merith demon from D&D. You know something? You're right. You know, I'll tell you, this universe has been around a long time, almost as long as D&D. And I'll tell you, I'm just always impressed with Games Workshop history and everything that they do. They do such great work, and I just, you know, they're very dear to my heart. They've screwed up plenty of time, trust me. But there's plenty of times that they've won my heart right back with just coming out with something really, really cool. And they're really good at doing that. Those bastards. All right, the eyes. I want to go with Hoth blue for their eyes because I'm going to go a little bit of a lighter color after that. But we're not going to worry about that right now because we're just going to get this, and then you'll see what I'm talking about very soon. So again, I can't stress enough. You did all that work. You know, let's not ruin it. Let's just take our time on this and really just get that eye in there. All right. So what we want to do is just dot that eye. There we go. Dot that eye. And that's all we want to do. And then we'll go back over with another color. We're moving along on these guys. We're going to be able to probably start working on some other stuff too, guys, as we are really, really making good time. There, dot the I, dot the I, and dot the I. Perfect. So, I mean, pretty much, you got yourself some pink horrors there. Now, we're going to come back to our pink horrors in about 2 seconds here because if I can find the right brush, I'll be a happy man. Nope, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. Oh boy, don't make me go out and buy 50 more brushes to go with my 2000 here. Just want something a little bit with a little bit of a point here. All right, I'll use this. Let's see how this works. Nah, it's too long. I won't feel like I have the control. I'm so picky. I just get in these zones where I become extremely picky with brushes. Nope, that's not going to do it. Let's go with this guy. All right, so we've got, that's not the green I want. Not Wagog. All right, we're going to go with a Lauren green. If you remember what I told you, that we were going to go over the top. So we're going to take a little bit of this Lauren green and I'm going to spin it around on our brush. See if this brush wants to work for us properly. First thing we're going to do is we're going to just get these feathers, because that's all they are. It's just green feathers. And here we go. And these feathers are coming out just fine. There we go. Now let's just get the front of them. All right. And we're just moving that brush very carefully. You don't want to get this on the skin, so you want to start down deep. There we go. Now remember how I told you with the fire it'd be kind of different, go a little bit different. You're just gonna take and just top that off with a little bit of this green and just kind of blend it in there. So it kind of has that kind of smoldering effect. Just like that. Boom. Alright, let's do the same thing with this guy here. Yeah, let's just go feathers. And we're going to dry brush these feathers a little bit too. So we give them a little dimension as well. But right now we're just trying to get them on there and get them dry. So when we pull out that color later, we can go to work on it. So there we go. And we're just going to work that in there. There you go. And then we're just going to, like I said, just a touch, just kind of fade that out. There you go. That's pretty much, that's a nice clean pink quarter, don't you think? And we did it pretty fast. So what do you guys think? You like them? I hope so. That's about the best I can do. All right. So we're gonna let those. I'm gonna move these guys off to the side here. Just? Oh.
Yeah.
Here.
What's up?
So what I think we're gonna work on next is the main guys. They're just easy because that guy still went.
Oh man. How cool.
Well, if my son likes it, then I'm doing all right. Like I said. So, oops, let's get this guy out of the way. This
I
guy.
really like the Tzinch in general. We never really got around to it, but remember I was telling you if
Yeah.
we were going to play Age of Sigmar that I wanted to be Tzinch Chaos.
Yep.
Because I think that the colors are so cool on them, and like
Yeah,
they're just very different than everything else.
Yeah, they're very bright.
Mm-hmm.
So we got all these guys done, so that's good. I mean, besides a couple of nagging things that we have to do. And we got these guys. So we're going to start working on these guys here and take it to the next extreme here. And let's see, what do we got next here that we could do? All right, so if you notice, if you remember yesterday that we painted their bodies and we have to do their skin yet. So I think we're going to do a wash on their skin, try to tighten everything up, do their weapons, do their face masks. You know, try to get them as close as I can to being what you would call complete, because they're a pain in the neck. So let's see here. Just want to get myself a good picture here so I know, have a good idea of what I want to do with them. And it's a lot of gold, so that's what we're going to go with. Alright, so that. Alright. The face mask is, see, that's where it kind of gets you kind of confusing. Is I don't know if that face mask is a bone. That's a bone. I'm gonna call it a bone. I think I'm gonna call it a bone. It looks gold though, to some degree. But all right, let's go with gold. I mean, with bone. I think a bone mask on those guys would look kind of cool, anyways. So we'll put the bone mask on, and then we'll do the wash over them, and then we'll start to build up their bodies and stuff like that, and you know, all the gold and things. So let's start working on these masks. So we're going to go back to our Yashabi bone, and we're going to start getting these guys where we want them, which is looking pretty cool, I think. It's probably a different take on them, but I say they use bone mask, and if I say they use bone mask, well, that's good enough for me. How's that? All right, got my old favorite brush here. So let's take this, the shabby bone, and let's start working that mask. And we don't want to touch that skin, so we want to be very gingerly around it. And we want to work in there. That's it. And there we go. Just bring that down a little bit, bring that there. And do the same thing on this side. We want these guys to really kind of stand out. If you notice, I already painted part of their cape white. And we're just going to work that in there, like so. We want to make sure that we get every bit of that. And just work that in there. And there. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, let me just do it to the rest of them. Do they still have the demonettes of Slaanesh and Exis, of Slaanesh and Age of Sigmar? I couldn't answer that. I hope somebody else could, to be honest with you, because I'm not too sure. Be 100%. Alright, so let's work this in. Wait, this is, I can work their eyes in later. And I'm going to drag that back to the same thing on this side. You want that bone mask, that bird bone mask. That's a weird saying. We'll add the eyes later, because that'll be easier once we get everything all nice and dinged up in there. I like how the flesh went on. And when we wash it, it's just gonna look 100% better. And that's what I say. So that's 2, 3. We're really rolling here. So we're off to a good. Tomorrow we're going to be doing those bird guys, and we'll get those knocked out. We'll finish up a couple more of the heroes. we'll get right to the main villain. And just a lot of stuff that we're gonna get through. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm just counting. And then maybe off camera. You know, I may even do one on Thursday. I may make this 4 parts. I don't know. It really depends on how much progress we make. I mean, we're moving along pretty good at 2-hour clips. I mean, look at all we got done. All right, there we go. Yeah, not perfect, but that's what I want. My God, what's that dog doing? What's that? Who? I can't hear because I'm on. All right, let's see. And then I missed a little bit with the flash, but I'll go over that real soon. Just one of those things. What's that, babe? Yes, that dog is crazy. But it's our dog. I definitely got to get some new brushes tomorrow. Yeah, you see where I missed that spot? I missed a couple spots, but I can fix that very easily before I get too involved in things. So there you go. I haven't played Warhammer Fantasy since the 6th edition. Yeah, it's a shame. I wish I was still playing it. You know, I want to like Age of Sigmar. I really do. I really, really do. Let me try this. Let me see if this will matter. I can blend it. Because it's just going to get washed over anyways. With a heavy wash. Alright. That's 4. And then we got 2 more guys here. And we're going along pretty good. And we're just going to get that in between there. Go in between there. We're going to use 2 different washes on this. Because we want 2 different type of highlights. Okay, there we go. And that goes on there. And then finally, we want that to get really in there. And really kind of set in there a bit. The main thing is to really get that look that we're looking for. And just work that in there. All right. Now, we can close that up, clean this off. Oops. And clip that. There we go. So I didn't like the way that was going on there. All right, so let's work on some of these weapons here. Because it's all going to play into what we're going to try to do here. So that's going to be that, that's going to be that. And all right. Gold, 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 purple. Awesome. So, you really want that dark, dark purple, huh? So it's almost kind of like an indigus. Nope. Oh, let's go with the purple violet shade over it. Okay. That kind of works. All right. So I'm sorry. I was just really trying to figure something out here. Let's close that up. And what we're going to do is we are going to, while that's all drying, we're going to take lead belcher, which is our. Are you still doing battling brushes? I haven't heard anything about it lately. I think during convention season we're kind of laying off of it for a bit. You know, we just can't get any consistency with it during convention season. But afterwards, I guess Sam and I will talk and see if it's something we want to go forward with. It was my idea, so we'll see what we want to do with it if we want to go forward. After Gen Con, I think we're going to make a lot of decisions on a lot of things. All right, so now we're just going to take that and just try to get all the silver work out of the way. Well, more or less meaning the really get our knives done and stuff like that here. And you know, while we got these things drying, why not just work on another part of it? As you see, we're just getting that done. Pink, 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 pink. And not going to worry about that. And then move that into his hand. And I'm just going to make this whole thing just a lead belcher. Because I want to use, I just don't want to overuse the gold here. And I kind of like that. Like that. There we go. Now, this pike thing. Kind of like, we'll probably use a black there, but we are going to go for this part. Yeah, we're going to leave that definitely black. But this part is going to be silver, and then we're going, or lead belcher as I call it. It's going to have an iron feel to it, but also we are going to have some gold in there, because I think that'll be really kind of sharp. Yep, okay, there's that. And I think we'll come back here with this. That works there. And that works here. There we go. We'll do the same thing with this guy. We're just motoring along here. All right. There you go. Put that over there. And you can see I'm just really just trying to really keep everything nice and tight and clean so I don't have to clean up too much of it afterwards, which, you know, it's going to happen no matter what you do. So let's get these other three guys over here. And that's going to be gold and brown. Okay, yep. And this. And that's just going to go over that like that. Like I said, while things are drying, you just work on another part of the model. And it really, you know, it really speeds up what you're trying to accomplish here. So that, perfect. Now we got these two guys. So we're going to take and do the same thing here. And yep, exactly. We're going to come back with the gold and really make that shine. Make the handle gold. Yeah, I kind of like that. Make the whole thing just kind of gold, whatever. And this right here, we'll do that as well. There we go. Same thing with the guy here. And do the same thing over here. Perfect. And of course, the other knife here. All right. Let's put that down. Put up the visor for a second. Turn off the light. And just start assessing things a little bit and see what we need to clean up. I saw a couple things that we need to clean up like right away. And first things first. There's a couple flesh areas that were missed. So we'll clean those up on these guys. And that's good. That guy's alright. I know there's one of them that... Oh, it's one of these guys. Okay. Yeah, he was missing some flesh tone, so we need to go over that. So that means it's going to be a little bit longer of a drying time, but you know, these things happen. You can't get everything perfect every single time. If you did, geez, this would be boring. Alright, so I'll just throw a little bit more in there. Alright, so that works. Just want to get his ankles a little bit better. There we go. Alright, so he's fine. Anybody else? There was this guy, that's right. His head, the back of his head was missing what we were trying to accomplish. And there we go. Alright. That works. These guys are pretty easy, to be honest with you. Let's just make sure that we got everything there, which we don't, because I missed his ankle here and his calf. and his gigantic thigh. And he's fine. Okay, that works. That works. The back of his head works. Actually. There we go. That's right. That's right. Oh, I missed him. There we go. Let's just fix this guy's head. A lot of times there's a lot of touch-up. Whoops. But if you do it right, you're going to be fine. Whoops. There we go. And I don't like that arm, so I'm going to fix that. I think it'll come back and bite me later. Okay, there. I say. The Carrick Aculates, huh? Well, now we move on to color that I enjoy putting on. Well, I'm going to use the black now. I'm just going to use a little cheapo black for touch-up. I'm going to have this industrial box of black and just fine. Is everything out of focus for you guys as well? Bad lighting maybe? That's out of focus? It's out of focus when it's down here, so I can come up and do this. It's just for a minute, I just didn't want to hold it. Yeah, I just let them sit on the ground. I adjusted the focus so I can hold them and work on them. So that's what's working for me. But I had to put them down a couple times to do a couple things. So there you go. It's fine when you hold the model, yes. Yeah, because that's the only way that you can't have the table in focus and then when I come up here it not be in focus. So there we go. And I've very rarely had to, a matter of fact, I've held them 99 for the last 2 hours. I've held the pink horrors, which are done. For those of you that missed it, we got the pink horrors, the blue horrors, and of course our little flame guy is done. We've got these guys where we just have to do the weapons in the wash, which I should have done that while I had the lead belcher out, but that's what happens when I'm focused in on everything else. Dink, 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 dink. Just making sure I got it where I need it to be. All right. This is supposed to be black. I don't like it as a black thing though. All right. There we go. One, I think it would help if you were able to use some blue tack. Well, I don't. I like to hold it in my hand. I actually like to hold the model. I never like tacking things up, and I just do things my way. And that's what works for me. For me, I like to hold the model. I've done it for 25 years this way. I might as well just keep going. I don't like tacking it, especially when I'm doing a bunch of models at once. Now, I know other people that do it, and that's great, but I don't like the whole. I just don't like it, and I just go with what's comfortable for me. Matter of fact, that's 2 hours and something, so let's just call it a night. Let's call it a night, and then we'll work on these. We'll finish these guys up tomorrow. We've gotten the goblins done today. We've got our guy almost where we can start shading and doing things with him. We did our dry brushing for the skin for these guys to get them so we don't have to put 19, 15 different shades on and just overpaint it. And basically we got all the horrors done where they need to be. So I think that's about it for today, folks. And after 2.5 hours, I think we got pretty far. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you another time, like tomorrow, about the same time, 5:30. With that said, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.